Good evening. My name is Esther Patt. I live on the corner of Kohler and Nevada, where in the last 5 years we've had 2 armed robberies. More about that later. Tonight you're being asked to vote to approve a policy that would allow commercial uses on any piece of property that is zoned R7 without requiring any provision for parking for the employees or the customers. There's actually no need whatsoever for businesses next door to single-family homes between Busey and Orchard from Oregon to Pennsylvania, which is the entire area that's affected by this proposal. And I don't know anyone who wants a business there other than the people who own land where they could make more money by putting in a business without having to provide parking. And I believe that's one of the main reasons this proposal is before you. Putting in businesses and providing no parking for customers or employees has a very large negative impact on any area, and especially an area that is so fragile as where I live. Right now, there already are people who live close to Lincoln Avenue who have to walk more than 2 blocks late at night alone to get from the place they can park their car to where they live. And if you add even one business with no parking off-street for the customers and the employees, because there's this mythology, pro-developer mythology, that people just don't have cars anymore, so you have to need parking, that's baloney. One business will eliminate at least 1 block of parking. And people who now walk 2 blocks are going to have to walk 3 or 4. And since you want to do the same thing residentially to allow any R7 use to increase the number of people who live there without adding at least 1 parking space, that puts even more distance between where people have to leave their cars and where they actually live. We have a parking crisis in the first 3 blocks east of Lincoln Avenue that was created by the city of Urbana's planning and zoning decisions that were made, I don't know, just for the purpose of serving developers, and without any regard for the reality that safety on the street cannot be provided if people can't park anywhere near their homes. And it seems the philosophy here is that people don't really need to live close to their homes if they're students or they are tenants, which of course is morally wrong. Parking close to one's home is not a luxury. And every time I look out my window between 10 and 11:30 at night, when I hear a car door slam and see a total stranger park in front of my house, or my home, I live in an apartment building actually, and then walk off of our block, I think of those 2 armed robberies that happened right at the same place where they're getting out of their cars, I mean almost, within feet, and I wonder how many blocks is that woman going to have to walk alone in our neighborhood to get to her home, and how many more blocks are people going to have to walk after you enact this broad proposal. If you want to convert another fraternity to an apartment use like what happened on Vermont and Lincoln, I mean, it happened in one place, there was no problem, so now you have this massive, radical proposal to totally undo the zoning in our neighborhood just to accommodate that. All you have to do is tell the developer who wants to convert the fraternity into an R5 use to apply to the city for an R5 permit to change the zoning on that one land. I know that might sound like a radical idea, but imagine in my neighborhood that the use on the property matches the zoning of the piece of property. It's something we need more of. I encourage you to put people's safety ahead of the profit interests of a dozen owners who want to squeeze yet more money out of students by building in our neighborhood without providing for any parking whatsoever. It won't hurt me. You know, when I lived in this neighborhood for 10 years without a car and only got attacked once, my oh my, did I feel it was important for people to be able to park close to their homes. I own my place, I can afford to have parking on site, but I think it's just a terrible policy to decide that the people in the neighborhood who have to rent their housing there. If you want a furnished apartment, you have to rent to the campus area, and so you have to rent someplace where the city deliberately does not provide enough parking. I'm not asking you to fix the damage that was done by all the people who came before you, but I beg you, don't make it worse. No new human density without appropriate parking. Thank you.